Here at Withington Stadium at the Men of Valor camp, the mighty Men of Valor, I want to get that adjective in there, with Super Bowl champion head coach Tony Dungy of the Indianapolis Colts, having won Super Bowl 41 just a year ago in dramatic fashion over the Chicago Bears. And Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, it's great to be here and great to be with you.
Now, talking about this camp, what was the genesis, the idea for this camp, and how it got started and what you're hoping to accomplish with it?
Well, actually, Russell Davis, who's an administrator here, Ron Simpkins, and Harlan Huckabee, three University of Michigan guys, really came up with the concept to bring kids out, give them a day of learning football skills, but more than that, self-esteem and doing the right things, that type of thing, the value of education. They asked me to get involved just to come and support it, and so I've been here for 3 years now, and it's great. It's fun for me to get out and come back to the stadium that I played high school football at.
Now, Coach, a product of Parkside High School, there's a lot of talk going around, both with your father, Dr. Wilbur Dungy, yourself, and your entire family, the impact you've had on the Jackson community, about possibly naming that high school, now middle school, after the Dungy family. What would be your thoughts on that?
I probably would be like my dad, where he would probably not want that type of attention. It would be a great honor, and it'd be something for the whole family. It would be wonderful, but I kind of hate to single out one family. There's been so many people that have done great things here in Jackson, so if it was up to me, I would decline, but I can't speak for the whole family.
I know a lot of people in Jackson would disagree with you, Coach, and maybe want to push for that, but I just had to ask that question. And going back to last night, such a great event. We were talking before the interview, honoring your father, Dr. Wilbur Dungy. I think it's just so outstanding how there were pioneers, both you and your father before you, in different fields and equal levels of success. Talk about your father, his legacy here in Jackson, and what he meant to the Jackson community.
Well, my dad grew up here and went to school here, and really went to Jackson Community College, didn't have the money to go to a four-year school, and because of that, I think his tie-in with the city became stronger, and he stayed here and taught, was really one who really understood the value of education. He was the first African-American professor at JCC, one of the first in the state, and he was a pioneer and somebody that I really looked up to, and a lot of people that came through Jackson either had my dad or my mom as a teacher, and I think those two made much more of an impact than I made as a football coach.
Now, talking about your father, on such an appropriate weekend to honor him, too, on Father's Day with the new center that's been dedicated in his memory. He's been gone for 3 years now, but I know he's a big supporter of your career. When you were standing on that Super Bowl podium, you said it last night, you thought about Jackson, you had to have thought about your father as well. You know him really well. What do you think he would have said to you on that day when you claimed the Super Bowl trophy?
He would have said, well done. He would have said, great job of persevering and hanging in there, and that's what he was really all about. That was one of the things that I missed. He supported me, came to all my games, junior high, high school, college, was right there with us until 2003, and we didn't quite get there, but he was sure we were going to win if we stayed the course, and I would have been really pleased to have him there with us.
Coach, the word perseverance, everybody in Jackson here believed you. This town became basically Indianapolis North during the Super Bowl. I saw all the signs on the gas station saying, "Go, Tony, go." To have gone through what you went through in Tampa Bay and some of the trials and tribulations in Indianapolis, what did it feel like to finally get to the promised land?
Well, you realize how tough it is, 11 years of trying and getting close, getting right to the doorstep, not quite making that play that you need to win, and then having it happen. You realize how difficult it is, and because of that, I think the victory was that much sweeter.
What was the difference, would you say? You had some great teams before this, some teams that won almost flawless through an entire season, but yet You won it all last year. What was really the difference, the key?
2007 wasn't our most talented team by a long shot, but it was a team that really had resiliency. It was a team that was together, and they didn't let anything distract them. And even when we had some tough games in December and lost a couple of games, they never lost confidence, and they just learned to battle through it. And when we got to those tough times in the playoffs, we were able to hang together and keep that sense that we can make something special happen.
Finally, Coach, and that is, where do you go from here? You've won the Super Bowl title. You've accomplished the greatest thing you can get in head coaching. But beyond that, I know you have a greater scope of what you want to leave behind in terms of your own legacy. What is left for Tony Dungy to accomplish?
Well, we've got some players that I'm really proud of, some of the things they're doing in Indiana and in their hometowns. We've got a great coaching staff. I've got 4 coaches now that have worked under me that are now head coaches. So I think that's really the thing, trying to just let people understand what I believe in and kind of spread that in football and then hopefully in the next few years outside of football.
Well, head coach Tony Dungy, I know the entire Jackson community very proud of your accomplishments, everything you've given back. Jackson Community College has never been better, and you're largely to thank for that. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Well, thank you. It's awesome being back in town. Thank you.
Head coach Tony Dungy of the Super Bowl 41 champion Indianapolis Colts. I'm Ryan Schuiling for JTV.